Week 8. That song, I'm going to be honest with you. I was a little low energy, okay? This Red Bull starting to help with the energy. The energy is only going to pick up for the show, but that song, that fucking song, that intro that I made a year ago, it still gets me jazzed every time. I'm going to start off this episode with a fun fact for you. Cameron, before the fun fact, let's go to the solo shot.
Solo shot? Okay.
That song was $46, okay, hold on, let me start that again. We pay $46 a month for that Epidemic Sound library of music that they have. Carrie Underwood makes $1 million a week for Sunday Night Football. The song that everybody knows. I told Cameron today while I was listening to it, it gave me chills. It gave me chills. Some people get chills from Ghosts. I get chills from fucking Carrie Underwood saying, I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. Because I have. Cameron, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good.
Are you feeling as jazzed as I am?
I'm feeling super jazzed. Probably even more jazzed.
Oh.
Top jazzed.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let's scat a little bit. Skitter.
Jazz scat.
Jazz scat. Jazz
Yeah.
scat. You're looking beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that compliment. NFL Week 8 was beautiful. NFL Week 8 was beautiful. I hit a bet, a teaser bet. I had put it in my Instagram story, so we will be talking about that in the afternoon slate. So there was money won today. That could also attribute to some of the happiness. The moon looked beautiful today. We did a HIIT workout. We laid in bed all day. It's been a phenomenal Sunday. Junior won his game. For those of you who follow with what's going on with my family, San Jose State, 2 games away from being bowl eligible.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Don't look now. Don't look now. Don't let the Spartans get hot now. Don't look now. But this entire week of NFL Week 8 was started on Thursday night. We always start on the Thursday night game, and we will be hitting every single game on the docket. Every single one of them. It started with Thursday night, though, and we did something very, very cool Thursday night. And I say we, as in John Orlando, Bill Krakenberger, Travis Flesher. We all went to Circa Stadium Swim, and we did an on-location podcast with none other than the motherfucking owner of Circa. Pretty big-time shit. Like, Bill Krakenberger's really good friends with Derek Stevens. The podcast was amazing. Go check that podcast out right now on Bill Krakenberger's YouTube, @CrackWins. They talked a lot about the Super Bowl, the Eliminator, the contests that are going on currently at Circa and like how they're standing. It was so interesting, and we didn't get a chance to touch on this. And I need you guys to go watch this episode so you can see it. Thursday Night Football is happening. This man, who's in charge of the sports book, knows exactly what will cost his casino money. And what was going to cost his casino money is if the game went under. So when we were watching the game in the third quarter, he was watching it literally as John, and it wasn't in a rude way, right? We're all degenerates. There's a fucking huge TV directly in front of him. He's going to watch the game. So they're talking, they're doing they're having a podcast, but Derek just keeps looking up at the screen. And then Bill finally says, like, so obviously you know which side you need tonight. He's like, I definitely need the over. I for sure need the over if we're going to be profitable tonight. And it was interesting. You saw this dude fucking like we sweat minuscule bets, Cameron. This dude has an entire fucking casino relying on not that he can't take losses. Of course casinos take losses on games. You better not do that shit often, though. You better not do that shit often. The casinos the casinos made a significant amount of money today on teams that I thought, it's a really good spot to take them. Ergo, the Cardinals, plus 8.5, losing by 7.
Oh.
Yep.
Damn.
88% of the public, I believe, was on the Ravens this week.
No
minus
way.
8.5.
No way.
And they dropped the ball. So you get to see all that stuff happen. And this was happening Thursday night. We're watching the game. And let's just touch on the game right now. Okay. Bills 24, Buccaneers 18. This game was a classic Buffalo spot, right? Where a team that's normally playing in tropical weather going up north, and it's starting to get kind of cold out there in Buffalo. It's been cold here in Vegas, it feels like, even though it's not that bad. But this is a spot in which I always like taking the Bills. Always. But the Bills have been playing like the worst, best team in the league, meaning they are consistently losing to teams that they should be crushing, and they have been winning games in which, like against the Dolphins, you're like, oh, will they step up and answer the call? Well, of course they do, because the Bills only take things serious when they feel like their competition serious. The Buccaneers, in the NFC South, everybody's battling for a playoff spot right now. They're not a bad team, but there's a lot of inconsistencies and in their offensive play and production. Very similar to the Saints, very similar to the Falcons, very similar. The Panthers kind of score, but they're always getting blown out. The entire NFC South has a touchdown problem. We're allergic to it down there in the South. Like it's bad. So the Buccaneers didn't really make this a game until the fourth quarter. Things got interesting late, and then a late Hail Mary. I don't know if you saw the Hail Mary, Cameron, but the ball was thrown into the stratosphere, and it came back down, and Chris Godwin was kind of like playing the box out guy. If Chris Godwin would have turned around a second earlier, that ball, rarely on Hail Marys do the balls land on the ground, but this ball landed. If he would have just turned around, he could have caught it, and then they would have defeated the Bills. But the Bills had a little pregame speech from Stefon Diggs that got him fired up, and I just have to see what I put down here for this, because Stefon Diggs definitely seems like a guy that can rub people the wrong way, but it's because he cares, and in a locker room in which I feel like they all know they're the worst, best team, where they haven't been performing as much, you kind of need that unexpected enthusiasm, Stefon Diggs, to fucking grab the team by the throat and say, let's go on a run here, gentlemen. And it definitely resonated with the team. They came out. Josh Allen came out for a drive in the second quarter because he landed on his shoulder. It's just like the Bills, out of all, similar to the 49ers, if people get hurt, what are you guys going to do? If Josh Allen goes down, start getting ready for next year. I don't know what else to tell you. That team's not going to win without Josh Allen. And it was evident when he came out of the game, and you kind of hear everyone go, fuck. Enough of that Thursday night game. Make sure you go watch the Wisecracks episode that we recorded at Circus Stadium Swim. It's awesome. It was awesome. It was a very fun experience. We're going to be doing it a lot more soon. On to Sunday morning. The Sunday morning slate will start off with the Dolphins 31, Patriots 17. Every week I'm going to say it. Death, taxes, Tyreek Hill touchdowns. It just happens. It's crazy. And it happened to the Patriots. Out of all teams to have it happen to. Man. Okay, I was just making sure. Okay. He did score a touchdown. I think the first one was. I listed it out there. I was like, did Tyreek Hill for sure score a touchdown, or am I sounding like a fucking idiot right now? Tyreek Hill, 8 receptions, 122 yards, and a tutter. He became the first player in the NFL Super Bowl era to have 1,000 receiving yards in the first 8 games of the season. He said his personal goal is to reach 2,000 receiving yards. Never been done before. Wow. He has the opportunity to do it. He's well on pace. And 2 is finding him, man. And this offense, these motions that they have running, sideways, Tyreek Hill is drawing so much attention, and that's why Jalen Waddle also had over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown himself. It's a scary fucking team. When a team puts up that many points, remember I said I have the Lions defeating the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I think I need to put the Lions defeating the Dolphins, because that team is so fucking electric, okay? They also just got back one of their key defensive assets in Jalen Ramsey, who tore his ACL or tore his meniscus over the summer, missed the first 7 games of the season, comes back, interception. Ooh. And then he had a post-game press conference answer that is just like the epitome of never satisfied. He's like, yeah, no, it was awesome. I made a good play, but I could have made a great play if I scored a touchdown. It's like, all right, Jalen. All right. I like it. I like what Jalen Ramsey's doing right now.
The high standards.
Very high standards. So the Dolphins, don't look now, but the Dolphins have only lost one game? Two games? I don't want to fuck this up before I go on their little streak here. The Dolphins have lost 2 games. Dolphins are 6-2. They lost to the Bills, and I'm forgetting who their other loss came to.
And it was recent.
Ravens? No.
Wasn't it
Patriots? No. This is great podcasting right now.
Let me see.
They lost to the Bills.
The Eagles?
And the Eagles. Yep. It was last Sunday night. That's why. It was just recent.
Mm-hmm.
Too recent. Yeah. I thought it happened a while ago. Okay. But the upcoming games for the Dolphins include playing the Chiefs next week in Germany.
Ooh,
then they come back and they got a fucking cakewalk of a slate. Like, just think about this, okay? So even if they drop to the Chiefs in Germany, they're at 6 wins. Raiders coming back home at home, win. Jets, win. Commanders, win. Titans, win. That gets them to 10-3. 3 games left in the season. The Bills better keep up. The Bills have got a stiff competitor, and even the Jets are fucking pulling off wins. So that entire AFC East is a very, very hard division to win. I'm excited to see the way that all like ends up panning out. Speaking of AFC East teams, on to the next game of the morning slate. And this game was Ugly Betty. Was the Ugly Betty of the weekend. Jets 13, Giants 10. Sloppy. It was raining. I should have taken more into account the weather and started to hammer some of these unders. Rain is a lot different than snow.
Think it's worse?
I think it's way worse. I think with snow, there's still a chance of more like slippage from the defensive side.
Sure.
Here's a question. Honestly,
they both probably suck.
They both blow, but I think in terms of me choosing over or under like 33 points, which sometimes they come out to when it's like horrible, horrible weather, I'm taking an over in the snow.
I'd agree.
Partially, too, because I think players play harder. Playing in the rain, cool.
Can't feel your body.
Playing in the snow is a fucking like out-of-body experience. You know what I mean? You're just like freezing, and you're just like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. And so, yeah, that's a question I need answered. But this game, it was raining. It was raining like a lot. It was raining a lot. There was a crazy stat from this game that I have to bring up. The Giants went 6 for 14 overall in passing. And it was something that made me look up, like, what's the lowest amount of passing attempts ever in a game? And there's been games like, I mean, obviously, when I looked this up on StatMuse, it was fucking filled with like 1949, 1952. Like, yeah, like before they were like, we can throw the ball? What? I've never experienced this. I've just always handed it to Thomas. I only throw the ball sideways when we're running a toss, you know? 6 fucking completed passes. They had everyone dropping. Tyrod Taylor's in the hospital again. Some players are just unlucky. Like the Chargers stabbed him in the lung. And now he's like, he recovered his own fumble. He lands on it, probably breaks a rib. His season's done. But hey, we got fucking Tommy DeVito. we got a DeVito at quarterback for the Giants. And he looks like such a fucking just like a Sopranos character. Just like one of those extras that's always just going to collect. He definitely looked like a heavy. Jets looking good. Zach Wilson actually not looking half bad. But it's another one of those things where, like, how much weight do you put into this game? It was won in overtime at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
Against a team that you should have fucking beat. So I definitely I have high standards for the Jets. They're 4-3 now.
Wow. Winning record. That's good.
Yeah, it's a
And
shock.
Aaron Rodgers is practicing again.
Aaron
He's
Rodgers
throwing balls.
throwing off the Achilles. What else is he gonna do? Go on fucking Pat McAfee every week? He's on Pat McAfee too much. Just literally too much Aaron Rodgers. It was better when I knew I was getting Aaron Rodgers once. Now it's like, Aaron, come on in. Always join. Next game we're going to cover Jaguars 20, Steelers 10. This is another rainy game that goes under. And the over-under on this one was like 36. Cameron, there's a stat from this one. Hit me with it.
Yes. So Travis Etienne had 24 carries for 79 yards. Nice. That's a lot.
He is one of my favorite running backs to watch in the league right now. This dude runs hard as a motherfucker. And just fast and explosive in his frame. It's like if Alvin Kamara had a little more power. That's the way Travis Etienne runs. He doesn't necessarily have that Alvin Kamara wiggle, but man, he glides just like Kamara does. That man is a baller. The Jaguars are 6-2. Their upcoming games include the 49ers, the Titans, and the Texans. 49ers is a very interesting one next week. I would love to see what that line opens up at, because this is a spot where you could overlook the 49ers coming off of back-to-back losses, and we're going to touch on their loss here in a little bit, but Jaguars riding high, playing the Niners at home. You got a West Coast team traveling all the way to the East Coast, back-to-back week. Or no, the 49ers were at home this week, so they get to travel all the way across. Depends on how much weight you put on that. I would tease this game up. Like, wherever I think this game ends up at a pick'em next week versus the 49ers and the Jaguars. But it's a pick'em if it's a neutral site, so the Jaguars will get 2 to 3 points since they're at home. And since they're getting that, then I'll just tease them to like +3. Jaguars +3, I'm safe. Like, regardless of how that comes out dollar-wise. You know, you just sometimes teasers can fucking make you just feel better. We're going to touch on that in the afternoon slate. But this Jaguars team, they are going to win the AFC South pretty convincingly. I don't see the Titans really bowing up at the end, and the Texans are fucking just inconsistent. They're going to be a really, really scary team in the next 2 to 3 years. Not right now. And that's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. On to this rant that Diontae Johnson went on for the Steelers. And we didn't really talk too much about the Steelers because they just played sloppy football. Mitch Trubisky came in, and there was a lot of controversy behind some of the calls that were made. And Diontae Johnson, the receiver for the Steelers, had this to say about the officiating. Pause. Come back to me. Oh. There was no audio on that.
Oh no.
I just realized it was a screen recording. But he pretty much said in that rant that the officiating was horrible, man. I want to know how much they paid him. And once he said, I want to know how much they paid him, I was like, oh, fuck. And the reporter that was standing to his left was also like, he knew it. He was like, oh, I got to. You could see him realize that he got the take, but then also all the sped up work that he had to do, like following that. He's like, oh, shit, okay, now you could just shut up now. So, like, I can, because now I have to stay late to write this story because, of course, it's going to go viral. Of course. You fucking went off. So that's not a good look. That's not the Steelers' way. Yeah. Next game. Titans 28, Falcons 23. Angelo Reyes on the show that we had towards the end of last week, I think it was posted on Friday, talking about fantasy football, was saying, hey, Will Levis is a quarterback that you should really look at picking up just to use his trade bait. Nobody picked him up this past week, and now I will bid on him in the waiver wire because Angelo brought it up. He throws for 4 touchdown passes. That's pretty nuts. But that wasn't the most crazy thing from this game. Cameron, what did the Titans do today?
With the 28 points they scored, they have scored the most points since 2021.
That is fucking wild.
Just 28. That's crazy. Crazy.
That is wild. It's a franchise in which they embody we win games ugly, low scoring, rough and tough. Because it's not like they lose. Like, they clearly won this game. But think about it. They could have won this game by, scoring 24 points. You know, like, they could have definitely not gotten to 28 points. So, there was a stat that was tied into Will Levis going off. There's only been 2 other quarterbacks that have thrown for 4 touchdown passes in their NFL debut, and that is Fran Tarkenton and Marcus Mariota.
Whoa. It's pretty impressive.
It is.
Pretty impressive. I might bid on him as well.
You're going to bid on him?
I might.
We'll see.
I might.
We'll see how much you bid. How much are you going to bid?
I'm going to tell you.
Can I see what you
Probably
bid?
like $2. Something low.
Can you see what people bid?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Well, that doesn't go with what Angelo was saying, where he
hidden?
put so much money, but then someone else put more. So, yeah, I don't think so.
Fuck. That's kind of cool. I'm going to spend
then obviously you would
$90 on it. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, you should probably spend 91. Next game of the weekend, Panthers 15, Texans 13. There are no more winless teams in the NFL. Ooh. If you had that will a team go 0-17 this year bet, it's always it very rarely happens. You know what I mean? This Panthers team was scoring a lot of points. They have a rookie quarterback. They're building. You knew they were going to get one eventually, and they just waited until they played another rookie quarterback. The Texans disappointed the fuck out of me today. I just can't say it enough that team should be winning ball games like this with the caliber of NFL rookie stud that they have. CJ Stroud goes 16 for 24 for 140 yards. No touchdown passes, though. Allergic to touchdowns in the South. Bryce Young went 22 for 31 for 235 yards and 1 touchdown, and that is all he needed. So Bryce Young finally gets that monkey off his back.
Ooh.
Good on him.
Good for him.
You know, it's tough. Winning in the NFL is tough. So tough that this next game that I'm going to talk about fucking disappointed me. Because I thought this was a classic. Cowboys letdown spot. In my head, I was like, they're going to lose this one at home. Dak Prescott bad. Matt Stafford good. Cowboys defeat the Rams. Cowboys 43, Rams 20. Cameron, the Cowboys are the luckiest team in football. They're the luckiest team in football. When things go wrong for other teams, it always just seems to happen against the Cowboys. Lots of turnovers, but not just any turnovers. Like pick sixes.
The worst kind of turnovers.
Pick sixes are so fucking rare in this league. So rare. But there is one player on their team right now that has 3 pick sixes. Deron Bland had his 3rd pick six in this week's game. If I was to ask you, Cowboys fans, hit English, George. Cowboys fans, hit your friends with a little trivia question. Who has more touchdowns this year, Deron Bland or the running back Tony Pollard? Deron Bland's the answer. Wow. Deron Bland's got 3. Tony Pollard's got 2.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. That's a little fun fact for you. That's only going to last a week. You know, that the rumors start to spread. Deron Bland's like, oh, I'm scoring more touchdowns than the running back. Maybe you should start paying me running back money. Which is nothing, by the way.
Really?
Running backs don't get paid shit.
What's the second highest paid? Quarterback and then what? Wide receiver?
Yeah, those divas out there.
They score a lot of points.
Good on them.
Most of them do.
Yeah, they're supposed to. If your name is
That's their job, Tyreek Hill. He deserves his paycheck.
Another receiver that deserves their paycheck this week, CD Lamb. Fucking
oh my God.
Goes off.
Fucking John.
What happened?
I'm playing John in fantasy this week.
All right.
Playing John. Super confident going in, as I am every week. And then CD Lamb just has the best day of his life, along with Dak Prescott. The both of them.
So
both of them combined, I think, for 80 points together.
That's tough.
Yeah.
CD Lamb, 12 catches, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. What
That's
were
good.
the Rams doing? Definitely not getting pressure. Definitely just fell behind the 8 ball early. I feel like we went to breakfast. I got home. It was 26-3. I was like, are we watching college football? Are we in the fourth quarter? No. We're in the second quarter. It was ugly early. And I thought, the Rams definitely had their points. There was a moment in time where it was a 13-point game. The Rams could have shifted the momentum. Just lack of offensive production. Puka Nacua, only 3 catches today. What? Yeah. Puka, you fell asleep there, brother? Listen, if you're going to be a fucking stud receiver, you have one bad week. I am on your fucking ass. That is not a Puka Nacua type game. You know it. Anyways, the Rams, I'm high on the Rams. However, tough division to win. You got the 49ers to get through, and the Seahawks are fucking 5-2.
Damn.
The Seahawks are 5-2.
And you chose them the first week.
And I
Wrong week to choose them. Yeah, damn.
Thanks for the reminder, Kevin. Yeah, I lost $1,000 week 1 of the NFL for choosing the Seahawks. And they lost to the Rams. This week I chose the Rams. You ever been ass blasted? All right? You ever just gotten it from both fucking ends, from 2 different teams, different weeks? Same feeling? Rough? Next game. This is one, Cameron, you brought up this, you're going to bring up a stat, and it makes me a little sad. Little sad. Vikings, though, 24, Packers 10. They get the win. We should be happy, right? Vikings fans should be happy. Or what happened? What? Oh, Kirk Cousins.
Oh. It's so sad to see him hurt.
It is sad to see him hurt. He hobbled off. I like that he wasn't on the ground like, ah! Yeah. Which is if you watch the documentary Quarterbacks, when he gets hit and he hurt his ribs, he's like, he hobbled off. He was like, fuck. This actually hurts. I was faking it for the documentary. This shit hurts. Enough of that. That was sad. But what you're about to say is even sadder.
So, Kirk Cousins has never missed a game due to an injury in 12 years. His entire career. He missed 1 game in 2019 for positive COVID test, but
you like that? Oh, he missed for a positive COVID test.
He missed for a positive COVID test.
Hey.
Not an injury.
Hey, we'll forgive
That's
him.
impressive. That's crazy.
We'll forgive him.
12 years in the NFL and you never miss 1 single game. If these people get hurt, everyone's getting sick too. You get sick, you miss a game.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's questionable now.
Oh my goodness. If he doesn't play tomorrow, I need him to get 45 points in order to beat John. So if he has a great game, I still have a chance. It's the best game.
He has a Michael Jordan flu game in him.
If he has a CD Lamb type game tomorrow, he just puts the sickness behind him. He takes whatever the NFL has for colds. Probably something good.
Probably.
Probably.
Do you think they just listed him as questionable to throw people off?
I don't see why. That's just rude. That's rude. He is my last hope.
We'll touch on that game to close off the Lions taking on the Raiders in Monday Night Football. That'll be the very last thing we talk about. But we mentioned a pretty sick stat there. Kirk Cousins, Mr. Reliable. This fucking blows for a person that has been that consistent. Two things happen from this. One, he comes back like Bionic Man, and he fucking goes on a run that people have never seen before. Him and Aaron Rodgers next year on fresh 2023 Achilles. You know what I mean? Achilles repairs, if you think they were good last year, the 2023 model, they may be even having the 2024 model because it's so close to 2024. Kirk gets that 2024 models of Achilles. Aaron Rodgers is already on it, 7 weeks. Shit. They might come back as bionic people, or their career's over. Either way, we're going to get an answer probably next year. Packers have not scored a touchdown. And before halftime in their last 5 games, they've been outscored 73-9. Wow. If you've been taking the opposite side of Packers like first half money lines, you are making out. My God. So much money. Good on you. Very tough thing to do, though, is to not score a touchdown before the first half. Because all week long you work on, here's how we're going to score our first touchdown. When that doesn't happen and you have to regroup at halftime, you could be like, guys, what the fuck were we doing all week? We literally were working all week to score our first touchdown, and we didn't do it in 30 minutes of play. No bueno. That's not too good. Next game. This one's exciting. Saints 38, Colts 27. The Saints are back, baby. The Saints are back. Rashid Shaheed. Let me just start with him. 3 catches, 150-plus yards, touchdown. All he needed was 3 catches. Rashid Shaheed is the best boom or bust player in the NFL this year as far as fantasy is concerned, because some weeks he disappears. Other weeks, like this week, he booms 30 points. I think this week he even had 40 points in our league. He is a fucking electric player. The Saints have a great receiving core. We scored touchdowns today. Huge step for our offense. The only thing is, God damn it, are we predictable? The only person that scores touchdowns in our red zone is Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara. And they always run it in. Or they are running a route. But why are they our 2 best scoring options? This is the Saints' biggest flaw. If they don't figure this out, they will lose a lot more games this year, even though I can't afford them to lose. I said they would be 13-4. So I think they could win out if they start throwing touchdowns to Michael Thomas, if they start throwing touchdowns to Chris Olave, if we open our offense up to a lot more potential, then yes, like that we are fucking electric. We had 511 total yards today. Amazing. We're lighting up the stat sheet. We just have to make sure that we have different methods of getting into the end zone. That's my only concern. The other concern is this. And this was hilarious. Okay. So Derek Carr, after the game, he gave an answer to a question in which the question was, hey, Derek, how does it feel to win? And I'm going to read this in a Derek Carr accent and then probably make fun of him. Gosh, it just feels so good to smile. I was once at a place for 9 years. If I got banged up, everyone in that building knew I was going to play that Sunday. If I got upset, they knew where my heart was. But now I'm in a new place, and new things are happening. You have to prove yourself. You have to show guys where you're coming from. You have to build new relationships. That's something I put on my heart this week. I try to not be so emotional. If that isn't the most emotional answer I've ever heard in my entire life, you know what's not an emotional answer? What Bill Belichick answers after losing another game this week. Bill Belichick answers with, we got to be better. Coaches got to be better. Players got to be better. We just got to be better. That's not emotional. It's emotionless. That answer, that Derek Carr gave, very emotional. He's an emotional guy. I don't want him to fight his emotions, okay? He's already struggling at playing quarterback as it is. But if he's struggling with his emotions, then him playing quarterback is going to be even worse. Damn it. We cannot have that happen. We cannot have that happen. Yeah, Bill Belichick. He literally said that. I was like, did I write that down? Did I write that quote down? But it was so funny. It was the most Bill Belichick answer ever. I was like, that's boring. I'd rather talk about Tyreek Hill scoring more touchdowns. Allegedly. I didn't even remember that. Stupid me. Stupid me. But we hit the afternoon slate after I talk about the Eagles Commanders. Eagles 38, Commanders 31. Why in the world did the Eagles listen to me?
Well,
why did they listen to me, Cameron?
I don't know.
I said fucking multiple weeks in a row, I love the Eagles. I do, but they got to unlock this receiving core that they have. They got to throw the ball more. They got to throw the ball more. Fuck that. The Eagles ran the ball like shit today because they threw the ball first and they were behind, so they couldn't establish the run like they wanted to, and then they had to throw from behind. It's a good thing the Commanders fucking suck. The Commanders just give games away. This game was tied with 8 minutes left.
Damn.
The Redskins proceeded to throw an interception. The Eagles scored again, and they were just like, the Eagles were like, yes, we knew the Commanders would commander. We knew the Commanders would Redskin themselves. Yeah. Yeah. Cameron, we have now hit the afternoon slate. It's time for you to talk about the bet that you have placed this past week with the points being scored, touchdowns being scored.
Oh, okay. So I think this is a bet I'm going to stay with every week, and I'm sure one time it's going to hit. That's all I need. Just 1 point to be scored in every quarter. They have different ones. There was all the morning games, and then I did one for all the games, which that one was plus 4,200 odds.
Wow.
So I just need that to hit once.
So they just need to score a point.
Just 1 point every quarter. By either team. Yeah. So if there's 3 points, that's it.
But I proved to you, or I didn't prove it to you, but I was like, there's just no, I like it, okay, because I like fucking big odds. But there's something to be said about there's no pressure to score at the end of the first quarter.
But,
there's no pressure to score at the
beginning. That's all I need. I don't need people to score at the end if they score at the beginning.
Okay, but realistically, if you're going to break it down even more, you're lucky, like pretty lucky, if in the first quarter that each team gets 2 possessions. You're lucky if that happens.
To score.
Because usually the first drive of the game lasts about 6 minutes, you'd hope, right? 5 to 6 minutes. The other team gets 5 to 6 minutes. Then they kick it off. You're lucky if you get 2 possessions. So
I think it's going to hit. I think it's going to hit one time.
I think so too, but you got to probably limit the size. Probably look for some like less teams.
They don't have that. They don't have that.
It's Cameron. What is that?
I almost won with.
What is that then? What is that?
This what? Insanity?
No. It's a little cheese.
Oh, cheese.
It's a little cheese on the rat trap.
This is another bet that almost hit. Missed it by 1. But it gave me 3 teams. I had the 49ers, Cardinals, and the Bengals. I just needed those 3 teams to score more than 11 touchdowns. Well, 11 or more. They scored 10. Fuck. Isn't that some shit? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
I think that's reason 11.
That's a
11,
good bet.
Though,
that's a better bet than
every team needs 4.
Every team needs to score a point in a quarter.
Look at what the odds are.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely are starting to figure it out a little bit, but you got to identify cheese when you see cheese, and we got to stay away from cheese. We got to stay away from it. We love it. Cheese curds, fried cheese, mozzarella cheese.
Love cheese.
Fucking, we love cheese. Brie, a baked brie, with some good jelly. Oh, delicious. We haven't done a charcuterie board in a while.
We haven't.
Maybe an NFL charcuterie board is in our future. On to the afternoon slate, in which I put in a teaser bet and I hit it. I chose the Seahawks, teased them. I teased the Cardinals to plus 15.5. I teased the Broncos to plus like 13, I believe. And the Broncos end up winning outright. And then I teased the Bengals over the 49ers. I got the Bengals with plus 6 points. Maybe even more than that. Maybe it was plus 9.
Plus 10.
Plus 10. Yeah, it was
4.
plus 6. It was a plus 6 teaser parlay. So add 6 to whatever that final line came in. That's where I had them at. I felt confident. I put a 50 spot on it. I put a 50 spot to win 120. Hit it. Kind of hit it with no pressure either. The only game that was giving me a little bit of heartache was the Cardinals-Ravens game because the Cardinals just chose to start the things. So they arrived to the party a little too late. And that was to their detriment. So we will start with the first game, though, the Seahawks versus the Browns. Seahawks started off hot, scored 17 points in the first quarter. They didn't get their next score until the game-winning touchdown by Jackson Smith-Njigba at the end of the game. Love getting sleeper fantasy notifications. If your fantasy team isn't on sleeper, what are you doing? There's no better fantasy app on the fucking planet right now, and I don't even get paid by these people. But when I see Jackson Smith-Njigba score a goddamn touchdown to win the game and kind of win my bet, makes me happy. Makes me very happy. The Browns, PJ Walker throws 2 interceptions. It's like the coming to Jesus moment for some of these quarterbacks. Tyson Bagent went through it today. I was a fool, and we'll talk about how I was a fool on that game. So, I fell for cheese. Listen, I say I identified cheese. I fall for cheese myself. This game, though, PJ Walker, two touchdowns. You can't give the ball away, especially when they could have put the game on ice. That game between the Seahawks and the Browns came down to a 3rd and 3. PJ Walker gets a little pressure from Jamal Adams, literally throws the ball off of Jamal Adams' helmet. The ball bounces super freaking high in the air. Interception. Seahawks then are able to go down and score. However, if the Browns converted that game's damn near over. Or the Seahawks get the ball with about 40 seconds, maybe 30 seconds left, and no timeouts. Huge play. Can't turn the ball over in this league, or you will lose games. Period. Ravens 31, Cardinals 24. This is a spot in which it was ugly. I said it earlier. Over 80% of the public went on the Ravens minus 8.5 today. And my God, do people not understand how competitive the Cardinals are? The Cardinals, they're 1-7 now, 1-6. Okay. The Cardinals are the fucking cover kings. They cover every week. Really? They may not be winning outright, but they are covering left and right. And when I saw them getting 8 points at home, are you fucking kidding me? Give them to me. You know they're going to play hard till the end. Josh Dobbs is literally playing for a contract next year. They're going to bring Kyler Murray in because of the circumstances. Josh Dobbs didn't get wins. However, the Cardinals haven't been the team that I despise watching the most. If I was to maybe, the Raiders may be the worst team to watch in football. The Raiders may be it.
I'd agree.
But the Cardinals are fun to watch. This game, easy cover for myself. Gus Edwards, 3 touchdowns. It was not close at all. I just was very lucky that the Cardinals turned it on when they did. They had enough time to score touchdowns at the end. They kind of got bailed the fuck out. There was a 4th and 1 where the Ravens D-end, just forgot that you have to wait till the ball snapped. Jumps so far off it's damn, bro, you fucking took the Cardinals plus 8.5. The fuck is that? On a 4th and 1, the Cardinals don't get it there. That I don't cover. Or no, actually I do by a point. But that touchdown helped me go, whew. But that was it for that one. The shocker of the week has now arrived. Broncos 24, Chiefs 9. I felt like they played this game last week, but it was because they played this game 2 weeks ago. And the Chiefs had defeated the Broncos 18-9.
They played 2 weeks ago together?
They played 2 weeks ago,
wow.
Right? So Now they go play in Mile High. This was a spot where I was like, damn, if I was a Broncos coach, all right, and you already know where this season's headed, to the toilet. You gotta start Goliath hunting, right? So, hey, we haven't beat the Chiefs at home since 2014. Holy shit, right? Like, this is the one that we have to prepare extra hard for. And they did. And they were getting to Patrick Mahomes, lots of pressure. But the thing that really stood out to me from this game was the Broncos ran the ball very well. It was a steady dose of Javonte Williams. McLaughlin also popped off, and Russell Wilson just didn't sink the ship. Boom. They defeat Patrick Mahomes, who has never lost a game on the road to a divisional opponent.
Really?
16-0. It ended today.
That's bananas.
God, so you got to think about it. There's kids, okay, that have grown up in Denver, that were born in 2014, that have never seen their team win against the Chiefs at home.
Yeesh.
That's
good victory
fucking nuts. And people are like, Patrick Mahomes isn't the GOAT. Maybe he hasn't fully proven it yet, but goddamn.
That's an impressive stat.
Goddamn, is he close. We're winding down the show here with the Bengals 31, 49ers 17. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are like, hey, we can get hot late. I always use the analogy. I said maybe the Chiefs could do this. The Chiefs just like to fucking win a lot. They have winning ingrained in their culture. The Bengals had a tough slate to start the season, but now they're getting hot. Joe Burrow is starting to run. That happened multiple times today. I wish I could. His rushing stats had to be somewhere in the. He got 25 to 30 yards on this calf injury that, you know, I figured would hold him out for a minute or at least hinder his performance. That didn't happen. They go in and fucking work the 49ers in the sense that when you're playing a really good team, it's got to be back and forth. And so this game was back and forth for 3 quarters. And then it was, all right, who's going to make the mistake? It just so happened that Brock Purdy throws an interception in the red zone. The Bengals take it. They go down and score. Joe Burrow then throws an interception. But then a play later, Brock Purdy throws another pick, and the Bengals score again. So it was a 14-point swing in the span of about 3 minutes in that game that really decided it. And then once the Bengals got up, you can sense that the 49ers do not have necessarily the best offense to come back. Just like the Eagles, they need their run game to be really productive. And, you know, when it's late in the game, you hope your passing talents can come out. The 49ers weren't able to do that this week. And it's been a tough time for the 49ers, okay? Next week, they go down to Jacksonville.
Ooh.
If the 49ers lose that one and the Seahawks win, and now the 49ers who...
Seahawks?
Yeah, and I was saying,
if
the Seahawks win,
okay,
that moves them even further down in their division. A couple games behind now. Ooh, bad spot to be. Because chasing late in the year with a quarterback who has got a new elbow, right? He didn't necessarily look too comfortable today. But that just goes to show this Bengals defense is starting to pick it up a little bit. And you also can't feel too comfortable when you're starting left tackle. One of the best players in the league, Trent Williams, is out. You know, when your left tackle's out and you got somebody new in there, you start feeling the pressure a little bit differently. On to Sunday Night Football. We talked about the Sunday Night Football. Carrie Underwood making $1 million a week. She's making $18 million this year from singing that fucking song. Wow.
That's crazy.
Anything is possible, kids. Anything is possible. The Chargers defeat the Bears. I'm assuming the final score ended up like 37-13 or 30-13. It was, and I quote, 30-13. Okay. Let me tell you about the cheese that I bid on, ladies and gentlemen. The cheese was Tyson Bagent, the storyline. Sunday Night Football. He plays really good a week ago. He can come and take the soul of a 2-5 Chargers team. I took Tyson Bagent to score the first touchdown of the game because I envisioned him drop back. Didn't see anything. Just like, fuck it, I can do it. I can do this. Just put his lengthy ass MGK body on the line. Didn't happen. He did score a touchdown though.
Ooh.
And you hit the anytime touchdown score for Tyson Bagent. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
But the cheese was, I thought the Bears can really come in here and defeat the Chargers. And this was a spot that, God damn it, George, it's so easy to see. Tyson Bagent was playing Division II football fucking last year. Division II football. And I think he's going to go into SoFi Stadium and defeat the fucking Chargers. Am I stupid as fuck? Yes, I am. I should have put him, instead of to have a touchdown and to have the Bears win, I should have picked him to throw 2 interceptions, which did happen. Justin Herbert looks weird. He's in a constant state of, like, he has to catch snaps like this because fucking middle finger's all fucked up. So it's like, it's odd. He's handing the ball off backwards to people. They showed that in one of like the replays. Like, instead of handing the ball off to the left like this, he has to hand it off like this. Super weird. But that was it. Lions take on the fucking Raiders tomorrow night.
Let's go, Amon-Ra. Let's go.
Big prediction time. Like, this is uber big prediction time. If the Lions disgrace the Raiders tomorrow night, beat them by 28 points, let's say, there will be a lot of headlines in Las Vegas that say Josh McDaniels or somebody in the coaching staff needs to go. And those headlines will be fed by the owner, Mark Davis. Mark my motherfucking words. Mark my words. The Raiders are the worst team in football right now. The Panthers have the same record as the Cardinals at 1-6. The Raiders are actually winning games. They're 3-4. Mark my words. That's how bad things are going. Somebody will be on the hot seat. You will not do that to Mark Davis's team on Monday Night Football. That's not going to happen. That's that. This has been a very, very entertaining NFL Week 8. I plugged Wisecracks earlier. I will be on the American Fan tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. To recap, Josh just went to China with Swaggy P.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Swaggy P, you know, the question mark meme?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was out there with Swaggy P for, like, their basketball camp.
Wow.
So I'm excited to hear what he did out there. After that, I will be on Veterans Minimum at 4:30 p.m. And then I will be quickly leaving, grabbing you at home, Cameron, and then we will be going to watch the premiere of the Ghost Hunt for Bizarre Junkies. That was a ghost hunt that we did legitimately a week and a half ago. We did a week and a half ago a ghost hunt at Pioneer Saloon. Austin has been working fucking night and day to make sure that this edit is condensed down and it's the best possible product that you guys can have. And you guys can watch it tomorrow night at 7 p.m. It premieres on YouTube. Make sure you watch it. Don't miss it. And if you can and you want to, go to the Pioneer Saloon tomorrow and join us. It's going to be $1.50 for Old Man Liver beers. The bar's dope, but make sure you bring a sweater because it's going to get fucking cold outside. Other than that, I will be at the World Series. Make sure you follow at Mr. George Carmona. That is my personal handle. You'll be able to see all of that stuff. I know I got at Gridiron Junkies here, but hey, people, you know you love football, so fucking follow at Gridiron Junkies. That's it. Cameron, where can they find you?
Let's see. You can find me at Cameron Lee 97 on Instagram. There you go. There I am.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.